How different does the game feel for you right now as opposed to last year?
It's a lot different. I have a very different role this year with Aaliyah being gone and having to play the point guard position the whole time I'm in. I feel like last year I was only at the one and she was out, and she was playing over 35 minutes a game. So yeah, I think I just have a lot more on my shoulders. A lot more is asked of me. I have kind of a leadership role. So yeah, a lot different from what I was doing last year.
Even though play-wise the style and substance of what you're doing is different, how vital was it to have the half season last year, just from a game experience and leadership perspective, that it's not, you know, a backcourt of true freshmen essentially that are still really green coming in? You at least have, you know, a half season of Pac-12 play and an understanding of kind of what's required and what you need to do to facilitate the offense there.
Yeah, it's super important, and even though I didn't have this role last year, I got to watch Aaliyah play it, so I knew what was going to be expected of me coming in this year, which was huge. And then, yeah, obviously, like, being able to play against that competition and experience the Pac-12 gives me a big advantage, even just in this preseason, having already played, you know, in the best conference. So, yeah, it's super important.
What's a big leadership lesson or thing you've had to learn as you've kind of stepped into that role as kind of the person in the backcourt now?
I would say just focusing outward when things aren't going my way personally. If I get frustrated, like with my own play or what's going wrong, I can't focus on that because I have to lead my team and make sure everyone else, you know, keep uplifting other people, and I can't go inward. So that's something I've definitely been working on in the off season and right now in the preseason. Still, you know, obviously working on it every day.
A whole bunch of new faces in the backcourt, and Coach really mixed and matched you guys throughout the entire game, people coming in and out. How did you feel like all these new parts started to fit together?
I think we're just more able to play with each other every day, and even in practice, we switch it up a lot with what the teams are, and so we get to play with everyone. And I mean, as you guys have seen, the new players are doing really well, and they're well adjusted, both the freshmen and the transfers. So it's really excited, and even though they've been doing well, we're still all pretty new. So we have a long ways to go, and we're only going to keep getting better. So I'm really excited for that group.
In terms of size and versatility, like, this team is freaking huge, and a lot of you guys are switchable in probably not just 2 but 3 different positions on the floor. What does that do for you guys to just kind of, I guess, maybe want to try or experiment with different rotations, and how receptive is Scott to, you know, the possibility of like, oh, what if we tried this, or going into practice with an idea of maybe changing certain things just to see what works, because you guys have the ability to do that?
Yeah, it's definitely really exciting. We have so many new people this year that I think it's very early in the season, so we're still trying to have everyone learn, you know, their position or whatever it might be. So we haven't switched it up a whole bunch yet, but that's definitely something that's coming. I'm excited to get on the floor with Taya Adams at some point, and then obviously we can go to a much bigger lineup with all the size that we have. So there's so many different possibilities, and even if you look at just the stats of our team and how much, like, we're like 10 players playing double-digit minutes or whatever it is. There's just so many different rotations. I can't imagine what it would be like to scout our team. That'd probably be a nightmare. So yeah, I'm super excited to get to throw in different rotations and try new things going forward.
And you're like mad scientist, Brent. What's the craziest position you could figure for yourself? Like small ball 5? Like,
I mean, yeah, I was 1 through 5 in high school, so I mean, we could try it, but I don't think they need me down there.
Coach was just talking about Cal Baptist, how dangerous they are, how well they shoot it from 3. What are you guys working on to be aware of containing that outside threat tomorrow night?
Yeah, we've definitely gotten a lot of outside shots up. I don't think we've been shooting the ball as well as we could be, especially from 3. We do have a lot of shooters and girls that can shoot it from out there, but we just haven't really been showing that. So I think we all have a different mindset coming into this game, and I think you can expect our percentages to be a lot higher. And then, yeah, obviously they have a lot of good shooters too, so being ready to get out on them and make them uncomfortable has been a focus.
seeing how AJ, did in that first game, and that was an offensive barrage that I don't think a lot of us outwardly kind of expected out of her. What has she shown in practice? Is that not surprising for you guys, the way she's played, and is that something people can consistently expect out of her?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, she's an amazing player. She was super efficient. Just her numbers, she didn't miss a whole lot of shots, which her pull-up in practice, I mean, if she does miss, you're surprised. Even with the hand in her face or a girl right in front of her, her release is so high, and it's so hard to guard. So that definitely wasn't surprising for me. Every time she pulls up, I kind of just assume it's going in. But yeah, that's definitely something you can expect from AJ and Greta as well when she gets going.
So you have a sweet no-look pass against Western Washington. How long has that been in your arsenal? Is that something you practice?
I guess it's something, it kind of just comes naturally. I've done it a lot. It's something that just happens, especially in transition. I like to play fast, and I feel like I'm better in the open court. So yeah, I guess it's something I practice a little bit.
Do you guys ever enjoy, that portion of things, like little Showtime kind of flourishes and finesses on the court that kind of can get people going? Is that something when you do have the ability in the open court? I'm sure Scott wants to make sure it's like, the accurate pass that leads to the bucket, but is there anything that you ever want to do kind of like that, where it's like, I'm going to put some sizzle on this real quick?
Yeah, I think the general rule is just that if you're going to do that, it better work. So you definitely have to be careful most of the time. But I mean, when it works, it is exciting and it gets everyone going and gives us momentum. So yeah, just making sure that it works is probably the most important part.
How exciting is it now? We're underway. You have a game on the weekend, a midweek game. You're going to have a weekend game. You've got school, you've got classes, we're off to the races now. How does that feel to have all of that, it's here?
It feels a lot different than last year playing a whole lot of games, but the campus was kind of dead and I didn't go to classes in person, so it feels a lot different. The schedule's a lot busier and you're kind of just always going, but that's exciting for me. I prefer it that way over how it was last year, obviously. So yeah, I'm super excited to get all these games going and to have fans in the building and just people everywhere and get to interact with people. Yeah, it's exciting. So